What's up, you damn gorgeous and beautiful gamers? Welcome back to role-playing games. This is Mariel Corner in the internet, where we like to discuss about RPGs. If you like the content, if you like to have these conversations with RPJames, I would very much like to invite you, like always, to hit the like button, because it really helps me like you have no idea. Also, most of the people that watch my content are in fact not subscribed to my channel, so what are you waiting for? Thymesia is almost here. And I thought it was a nice idea to give you some details and see if you actually want to try out this game and if you want to keep your eye on this game. It releases on August 18, so let us begin with the Kingdom of Hermes. The setting of the world. This is a Victorian kind of Bloodborne, Gothic styled, beautiful world. The amazing thing is that it blends many of these Gothic elements, again, with Bloodborne. There are some similarities to Bloodborne, but also the pest and the plague and all that surrounds it. It's beautiful, it sometimes will be bleak, it sometimes will be colorful, but then that leads us to our main character, Kerberos. He is the only one that can save the Kingdom of Hermes. Something awful, something terrible happened to this world. There is no specific answer as to what happens. There is no specific answer as to why the monsters are prowling the streets and why the plague took over the Kingdom of Hermes. That is why you, Kerberos, are the only one that can save this world. That leads us to the next point. The story of the game will be told to you via the Kerberos memories. Again, something awful happened to this world. No one knows how did all this happened, but there is only one that can save it, and that is our main protagonist, Kerberos. You will be able to find memories hidden in the streets, in the darkness caverns of this world. Those are the memories of Kerberos. Thanks to those memories, you will be able to understand what happened to this world. It's something similar to how they implemented the story on Zelda Breath of the Wild. It is nothing new, but our main character wakes up and then has to find the reason as to what happened to this world. Leads us to the next point, the endings. True to the genre, more often than not, most of the cases, Souls-like games have different endings depending on the actions that you do in this world. Now, the endings on itself are not yet fully explained because, again, that would be a huge spoiler of the game, but we do know that your actions in the world, maybe the memories that you find, maybe the memories that you uncover while you explore the abandoned streets of this city, will lead you to have different endings depending on how many memories did you manage to get. Which leads us again, the genre. This is one of the key points that you should consider if you want to try out this game. The setting is very appealing. The Plague Doctor main character, it is very appealing, but should you play this game depends entirely on Souls-likes. Now, there are different Souls-likes that have embraced the mechanics for the Souls games, but they do not lean too much on difficulty. That is one of the key points. This is a very difficult game. So if you're not into that much, you should stay away from this one. The combat seems to be leaning more again into the Bloodborne style combat systems and mechanics, where it is more fast-paced than your usual Souls-likes, where you have to think a little bit more about what you're going to do. It also seems to be taking some elements from Sekiro, so you should have that in mind if you are trying to find your way to like this game. Weapons. There will be many weapons, but the weapons in here are going to be different. The weapons mechanics that we have usually in Souls-likes is that you manage to get a weapon, you upgrade your weapon, and you keep your weapon, and you can use it during the whole entirety of the game. That is not the case, that it is not, again, pattern redundance, the case in here. But they will function in a slightly different way. Which leads us to the Hell Boss. There are two Hell Boss that the enemies have and that you have. You have your main health bar and you have the wounds bar. Your weapons will deal damage, your plague weapons will deal damage to the wounds bar of the enemies. There are many other ways to make that damage happen on the green bar, but the main health bar is always going to be damaged by your regular basic attacks with your main weapon. That is never going to change. You're always going to have your sword, and that's going to be precisely to use against the single base health bar. So that is one of the mechanics that you should take into consideration as well. Leads us to the Raven abilities. This is one of the other ways that you can use, that you can do to deal damage to the wounds bar of the enemy. Again, just to recap, we have two health bars, the white one and the green one. The green one, you deal damage to it by using the plague weapons. The plague weapons, you cannot spam them. They have cooldowns and they have specific combos and abilities. But you can also use your deflex. There seems to be a kind of parry system, and your claw abilities. Basically, you throw a dagger, you turn into a raven, and you do a whole bunch of stuff that will determine how will you play your game on the character specifically built by you. So there are many other ways to deal damage to the wound health bar of the enemies. That's going to be mainly focused on plague weapons and the raven abilities, which leads us to the next point, the builds. Your builds are going to be determined by the plague weapons that you decide to use, and also by the skills that you decide to take. Again, this is a very fast-paced combat system like Souls-like. So the build that you decide to build is going to be dependent on whether do you like to use more your plague weapons, or maybe you would like to use a little bit more your skills. Your skills are the deflex, the parries, the dodges, the claw mechanic, which is one of the skills that you can decide to upgrade. But again, those are going to be mainly to deal damage to the wound health bar of the enemies. And then the basic health bar of the enemies is going to be damaged by your basic regular attacks. So your build should be focused on whether you like to use your claw abilities, your raven-like abilities, or the plague weapons. That is how the builds are going to work. Now, from the trailers, we have seen some kind of aesthetic that seems to be very, very similar and never seems to change that much. Again, this is a world that's devastated and decimated by the plague. That is the next and final point that you should consider. It is promised by the developers that sometimes the world will be lush and vibrant and the colors will be beautiful, but other times it will be bleak, and the plague that has devastated the land is going to make a predominance on different areas. So while we can expect this game to be kind of short because it's from an indie developer, do have in mind that they have promised that the world variety and the things that you're going to be looking at the screen are going to vary between something vibrant and something bleak, dark and gothic. So if they stay true to their word, we should be able to have enough versatility to gaze upon while we explore the deserted streets and alleys in this dark world that we have in front of us. Anyways, if you find the information useful, I would very much like for you to like the video. It really helps me like you have no idea, and subscribe to the channel before you close the door. Remember that if no one else told you today that you're a gorgeous and beautiful person, you are indeed a gorgeous and beautiful, beautiful person. Have a beautiful day. Now listen, you goddamn gorgeous and beautiful people. In the next one. Have a beautiful day and goodbye.